All right, this is a review lesson, and I really like to use these review lessons since we're not getting together and I can't really test you to see how you're doing. And this will give you an idea how much you are remembering. So I don't mind if you look back. I don't mind if you look in the handbook. I don't even mind if you ask for some help at home. But try the best you can to do these lessons on your own. I know I'm not there to make sure you are, so I'm not even going to worry about it. It's up to you um, how much you're going to try to do this on your own. But anyway, I will go through it real quick just to show you things, and if I see anything really tricky, maybe I will uh, talk about it a little bit. So for number one, we're just measuring these angles. You're going to pull out your protractor and you're going to measure these. Remember, I tell you to extend the one. Oh, that's a lovely thick blue. I don't know why it defaults to thick blue. It's so bulky. Okay, so you're going to want to extend these nice and straight, not freehand like I'm doing, and to measure them so that way they'll go right through your protractor and you'll get a more accurate measure. So you're measuring those. And number two, you are bisecting them, and notice they want you to do that with a compass. So if you're forgetting a little bit, maybe I can just talk about it real quick. So remember, first of all, you will draw a 100-degree angle, which, might be something like this. Maybe not, but. And then you're going to take your compass and you're going to put the point there and then make an arc somewhere within that angle. It's up to you. Remember, I can't do these straight. I can't put something on the screen. All right, at that point, take your compass and measure from here to here, a nice straight line. It's just going to measure right across there. Then after you do that, put the metal point on one side, it doesn't matter, and you'll make a little arc up top. Then put the metal point on the other side and make a arc at the other, go in the other direction. I probably did that the wrong way. Where it intersected should be the middle, and then you'll draw a line through the center. Okay? Or you can always look at your old lesson and look at the directions there if you're forgetting. Draw a circle graph. So it's been a while since we've done this. So you're going to want to take your compass and you're going to want to draw a circle. And if you want to, you can put it here or you can put it on another piece of paper. I don't care. It says 6 of the 10 presidents of the United States were born in Virginia, 2 in Massachusetts, 1 in South Carolina, and 1 in New York. Construct the angles that are less than 100 degrees first. Okay, I'm sorry. I was thinking, I feel like I've already done this lesson, but I haven't, right? Why am I having a major deja vu? Maybe because the 5th graders had something similar to it. I don't know. Okay, I think I'm doing this right. This is 6th grade, right? Let me make sure. Let me just double check. 6th grade, lesson 135. I already did lesson 134. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so they want you to construct the angles that are the smaller ones first, and then whatever's left is the big one. Okay, so we have a total of 10 presidents, right? And they said that 6 of them are from Virginia. So I'm going to put VA. That's 6 out of 10. And then Massachusetts is 2 out of the 10. And South Carolina, 1 in South Carolina and 1 in New York. So 1/10 and 1/10, right? So they give us 4 different ones we're gonna, so this is South Carolina and this is New York. 6/10 and 2/10 can be reduced, right? Uh-oh. Oh, phew. 1/5, right? So 3/5, can you remember what that is as a decimal or as a percent? First of all, we have 1/5 is 20%, 2/5 is 40%, 3/5 is 60%, and 4/5 is 80%. So this is 60%, the first one. And I'm getting super sloppy. I apologize. So for Virginia, I'm going to put the 60% under it right here. Then I'm going to erase once I'm done. So Massachusetts, I reduced down to 1/5, and that was 20%. Right? South Carolina is 1/10, which is 10%, and New York is 10%. So at this point, we have our percents. Now what we have to do is we have to figure out how much of the circle that is, right? So a circle is 360 degrees. So you want to find out, oh my gosh. Oh, I just lost it. All right. But I'm not done recording. I need to turn my paper because I keep touching. So Virginia, what did we say Virginia was? 60%. And we said Massachusetts was, what was that, 1/5? So that was 20%. And then South Carolina, whoops, not SS, SC. Need to slow down, 10%. And New York is 10%. All right. Now we have to figure out how much of a circle that is. So we want to know what 60% or 0.60, 60% of 360 is. So you can just do 360, whoops, oh, stop that. Okay. You're going to want to do 360 times 0.60, and that'll tell you how many degrees that circle, of how many degrees that angle is. And then you're going to do 360 times 0.2, then 360 times 0.10. All right, and that'll give you the degrees for each part of your circle. And what they were saying, this is going to be a big one, okay? So save that one for last. Make your two 10% ones first, then do your 20% one, and then the space you have left over will be for Virginia. That way it says construct the angles that are less than 180 degrees first. The angle that is greater than 180 degrees is the remaining angle. So that's just a more accurate way to do it. Do the small ones first. All right, see how you do the rest of that. Finding your area. Remember, area of a triangle is the base times the height times 1/2. And I know I do that backwards, but that's because I want you to remember. It's just like our squares or our rectangles and our parallelograms, but we half it because it's half of one of those. Circle, the area of a circle is pi times r squared. This one gave us a diameter of 8 centimeters. So what is the radius? It would be half of it, right? So that'd be 4. So 4 squared, not 4 times 2, but 4 squared is 16. And then C, the square area of a square is just side times side. So change those to improper fractions and multiply them together. All right, let me get to the back. Is that? Yes. All right, so find the perimeter or the circumference. So the perimeter, remember, of a square is just the sides times 4. Perimeter of a parallelogram is, I'm interested in, Oh yeah, because you're doing perimeter here. It's just the length times the width. It's not the base times height. That would be area. Perimeter. A circle, that's called circumference. The perimeter of a circle is called a circumference. It's the same thing, but it's got a different term because a circle is not a polygon. So circumference is the pi times the diameter. And then the perimeter of your rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. All right, those are pretty easy. We've had those forever. Roman numerals are easy. Number 7, find what percent the first number is of the second number. So all you're going to do is 8 over 20, right? Reduce that. Let's say I get 4/5, I believe. No, 2/5. 4 goes into 8 2 times. 4 goes to 20 5 times, 2/5. And then figure out what that is as a percent. If you can't remember what 2/5, you can always do 2 divided by 5 and take it out. And once you start doing a lot of times, you guys can remember what they are. Okay? Write the decimal equivalent. Okay, so this is where some of you, some of them get a little hairy. So 1/3, that one's easy because we memorized that one. 19 1/2%. Remember, first of all, when you change that 1/2 to a decimal, 1/2 is what is a decimal? Did you say 0.5? At this point, you're still in a percent, and they want you to give the decimal equivalent. So after that, you move it over twice. Okay? Try to remember that as you do F, and the rest are pretty easy. See how you do that. Change to improper fractions, easy. Change to mixed numbers, easy. Check to see if the number in the column is divisible. Let's just review the divisibility rules real quick. So if it goes into 2, it's even. That one's easy. If it goes into 3, remember you add up the digits and see if the digits go into 3. For 4, the number either has to end in 2 zeros or the last 2 digits go into 4. Like say it ended in 16. The number ends in 16. 16 goes into 4. Okay? 5 is easy. The number has to end in a 0 or a 5. And these divisibility rules might be in the back of your book. 9, you add up the digits and see if the digits go into 9. It's just like 3, but for 3, you add up the digits, see if it goes into 3. 9, you add up the digits, see if it goes into 9. For 10, it has to end in what? A 0. All right. Round these numbers correctly. Ooh. Okay, so April and Gabe, I know this is our little bit of our challenge here. This problem, these problems, aren't they? So I'm going to do the first one with you. And then you do B. Is B in green? All right, well then I'm going to do B. Okay? All right, so here we go. Our number is 5,192 ten thousandths, right? Tens, hundreds, thousands, 10 thousandths. All right, so they want us to round to the nearest tenth first, so that's the 5, right? All right, so you look at the number after the 5. The 5, it's a 1. Does the 1 round the 5 up or keep it the same? It keeps it the same. So you're going to write 0.5, and then all the other places after it will be a 0. Okay? And technically, in the answer book, I just looked at it, they don't even put these zeros because they're not necessary. 0.5000 is the same as 0.5. All right? Round it to the nearest hundredths. Well, the 1 is in the hundredths. So look at the number after the 1. We have a 9. And that 9 will do what? Yep, it'll round that 1 up to a 2. So we have 0.52, and those other zeros are not necessary, so I'll just leave them off. Now we have to round to the nearest thousandths, which is the 9. The 2 after it will not change it. So I'm going to write 0.519, and that's it. Okay? Now, I did that, so now you have to do A. And I'll give you that extra credit. So you have to do A. I want to see you do that. Okay? All right. Have a good day, and I will talk to you guys later.